man accused of murdering a North Texas woman last week had been a customer at a strip club where she worked. Investigators say 22-year-old Abigail Saldana was threatened with blackmail. Fox 4's Dion Anglin live at the Fort Worth Police Department with an update on the investigation. Dion. Well, Clarice Saldana's accused killer remains in custody as today Fort Worth police released an arrest warrant affidavit with information as to how the two were connected. Police documents shed light on the connection between 22-year-old Abigail Saldana and the man charged with murdering her. Investigators found items inside Saldana's car indicating she worked as an exotic dancer here at Rick's Cabaret, DFW. Managers told police recently she'd been worried about a particular patron named Stan. Police say that customer is 56-year-old Stanley Zeliga, accused of fatally shooting Saldana on October 26th as she was behind the wheel of her car about to enter Highway 183 near Amon Carter Boulevard. The arrest warrant affidavit says the manager indicated that Abigail was frightened of Stan because he was stalking and harassing her.
This was literally on my car like this.
The document also mentions the Instagram post Saldana made days earlier, revealing a tracking device she found underneath her car. Investigators note on the day Saldana was murdered, a traffic camera near her Farmers Branch apartment captured Zelica's vehicle just seconds after Saldana's vehicle passed the same camera, indicating he was likely following her. The same intersection surveillance recorded Zelica's pickup on 5 separate occasions before the shooting. The documents reveal Zelica, who is known at Rick's Cabaret as a military veteran, was also threatening to blackmail Saldana and posted about it on Instagram even hours after she was found murdered. Police say Zelica was arrested the next day at his Las Colinas apartment after refusing to comply with a search warrant. A SWAT team finding him on the balcony with what police describe as self-inflicted wounds to his face and neck. RCI Hospitality is the parent company of Rick's Cabaret, and I spoke with the president and CEO of that company today, who said they would release a statement sometime soon regarding Abigail's murder. We are still waiting to receive that.
You know, a lot of women, a lot of men glamorize this type of work, but they never talk about the downside of what this work entails, what it can cost you. It costs Mercedes more, you know. It costs a lot of girls, women, okay, who enter this type of work. They end up getting killed by their stalkers, by their Johns. And a lot of times, men get flack for just warning them and telling them that they shouldn't do this type of work. They're called, oh, you're an incel. Who are you to tell me what to do with my body? But you want men to protect you, and you don't want to hear the truth at the same time. You want men to protect you in spite of the nonsense you do that can get you killed. Obsessed strip club customer accused of shooting dead exotic dancer 22 put tracker in a car and complained that he paid her thousands 3 hours before her murder. This is what you got to deal with, okay? You're dealing with delusional men, okay, who think they're entitled to you because they see you dancing naked. And you're taking their money. This is what comes with being a stripper, being a sex worker. Okay? These are the breaks. Fort Worth police arrested 54-year-old Stanley Zilga last week for the shooting death of 22-year-old Abigail Saldana, who worked at Ricky's Cabaret. Fort Worth police confirmed that Seeger had been stalking and harassing Saldana and was angry at her after claiming he paid her thousands. Told you to do that. 3 hours before the murder, Seeger made a post on Instagram alleging that he had been lied to by Saldana and that he had paid her $3,000 via Zelle. I never understood why men would do this. You're wasting money that could be put towards a car or a down payment on a house for a woman to shake her valuables at you. She's not even your wife, not even your girlfriend. What? And then you want her, then you want to fall in love with her. When police went to nearby Rick's Cabaret, a manager confirmed Saldana had been recently harassed by a customer known as Stan. The manager said Saldana was frightened of Stan because he was stalking and harassing her and showed them video of her finding a tracker under her car. A license plate reader spotted Zilga's pickup truck near Saldana's home multiple times, and his truck was spotted near her vehicle prior to the shooting. The stalker accused of murdering a 22-year-old Dallas exotic dancer was a customer at the strip club who complained before shooting her dead that he had paid her $3,000. Super simp. Ultra simp instinct. I mean, what? On October 26th, Saldana was found fatally shot behind the wheel of her car at an exit near the strip club where she worked. Fort Worth police confirmed that Zilga, a customer at Rick's Cabaret, had been stalking and harassing Saldana, and according to an arrest affidavit, he was angry at the 22-year-old after claiming he's paid her thousands. I never thought I'd be one of those guys taken advantage of, the 54-year-old wrote, sharing for awareness. Abigail S. and I, since July 2021, we have been enjoying each other's company. She's so beautiful and personal that I envisioned the future with her. But dealing with all the lies is overwhelming. I realize that part of your primary job as an adult entertainer. What do you think? This is what she does for a living. She just sells men a dream for the money. That's it. There's nothing more to it. And you think you're 54 years old. You could be her damn father. I mean, come on. Snigger's post went on to claim that Saldana had a second job as a prostitute. If you only leave your second job being in high-end prostitution ring, we can move forward. Yes, this pays $2,000 per session, but it's illegal. And having a boyfriend whilst having sex with another man. But you want to have sex with her. You want to marry her. You want to turn a hoe into a housewife. People will get mad. The women will get mad. It's her body. How dare you? How dare you criticize her? Listen, if she hadn't been doing this type of work, she wouldn't have to deal with this type of creep. She wouldn't have to be dealing with this. Okay? You women want to glorify this type of work, but then when the consequences come for doing this type of work, you want to play victim. You want somebody to feel sorry for you. I mean, how? This is part of the game. This is part of what you do. This is what comes with it. This comes with the territory. According to affidavit, when police arrived to the scene, they found 3 shell casings inside the car, as well as a passport identifying Saldana and clothing consistent with those worn by exotic dancers. When police went to nearby Rick's Cabaret, a manager confirmed Saldana worked there but had not come in that day, and that she had been recently harassed by a customer known as Stan. The manager told police Saldana was frightened of Stan because he was stalking and harassing her, and provided them video Saldana posted 2 weeks earlier to her Instagram about finding a tracking device under her car. This was literally on my car like this, Saldana says in the video. This is why you have to be careful. I don't know what to do moving forward with this, but this is definitely looks like a tracker to me. She then goes on to say, this is so crazy, you guys, so crazy. Like, who would do this? Police later confirmed that it was a tracker. Confirming to the affidavit, a license plate reader spotted Saldana's 2015 Ford F-150 pickup truck near Saldana's home at least 5 times over a 12-day span, and only 17 minutes before the shooting was reported, his truck was spotted near her vehicle. On October 28, police tracked Saldana down to his home in Irving and ordered him to come out, but he refused and prompted a standoff. SWAT team members eventually went into the apartment and found Saldana on a balcony, suffering from several inflicted cuts all over his body. Sounds like he wanted to commit a suicide, just like the dude who killed Mercedes Moore, except the guy who killed Mercedes Moore, he was successful in his suicide. Silga was taken to the hospital to be treated for mostly superficial wounds and then booked into jail on a $250,000 bond. Saldana's mother said when she heard of Silga's arrest last week, she felt a sense of peace amid the pain of her loss. Did you know your daughter was doing this type of work? Being a dancer? Why were you okay with it? If you did, why would you be okay with it? You can't hurt anyone. He can't hurt anyone, and he's going to have to answer to me why he took my daughter, Contreras said. And I'm not going to stop. I will fight, and I will fight. He took my pride. He took my joy. Salinas reportedly had a prior criminal record in California, which includes charges related to domestic violence. The 54-year-old faces murder charge, and as of Monday, he remained in the Tarrant County Jail. My thing is like, were you okay with your daughter doing sex work? That's what I'd like to know. Were you okay with it, and why? Why were you okay with your daughter doing sex work? She's your daughter, and you have her grandchild to raise now. It's your grandchild that you got to raise now without her there. There's a lot of questions to this, man. People are going to think I'm heartless. I'm not. See, this is when you look through things through a logical lens. And people are trying to advertise this. The left is trying to advertise like sex work is a great profession to be in, but they never talk about the dangers of it. There are so many women, dozens of women who have been kidnapped and murdered by stalkers who they entertain, who pay their bills. And then they got the nerve to get mad at people who are not going to just get emotional about this. They're going to just, they're going to tell it how it is. All right. And unfortunately, you're going to have people that are going to think that she was an angel. She did nothing wrong. All she did was just make herself a target for perps, creeps, and weirdos by doing this type of work. This is not work. Sex work is not work. It's one of the oldest professions that women could do, but at the same time, it's the oldest professions that women can end up getting killed from as well. The sad thing in my state of New York, they're trying to legalize it. And it's really an agenda because it's not only in New York, but it's also in Oklahoma and also in colleges now in Great Britain. Like Durham University, Cambridge. They're trying to legalize this for young college girls to do. because the cost of living is so high, and because of the pandemic, and the Conservative Party didn't keep their promise to keep the price of living low. So now they have no choice but to enter this type of work. But instead of the government working to get them out of this type of work, which has so many consequences to it, they want to put them into this type of work instead of giving them real work, real jobs to do. She's one of the many women who have ended up dead, choosing this type of profession to do. This is not work at all. This is a slow suicide. All right. Let me know what you think about this. Do you think this type of profession is getting women killed? Do you think that modern society, the gynocentric society, is glamorizing this type of work? But will never tell you the downside of it? Let me know in the comments. Like, share, comment, and subscribe later.